Hey y'all, my name is Jessica and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something kind of fun and use this pop of color on the lid but not be too dramatic, too colorful. So I've always wanted to play with this Pool Party shade down here in the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I didn't know what to pair it with in the crease, so I decided to do some of these orange shades that are over here. And I really love how this turned out, pairing the orange in the crease with the Pool Party shade all over the lid. I think it turned out really cute. So if you like this makeup look and you want to learn how to get it, then just keep watching. But don't forget to subscribe and hit the little notification bell so that you'll be uploaded, so that you will be notified when I upload future videos. And let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go in with the shade Silk Cream. It's a very peachy, very light brown shade, and I'm going to take a really big fluffy brush and I'm going to put this all in my upper crease area. And we just want to build this up because we want to have a good transition shade because we're going to go in with much darker colors. So as you can see, I'm putting it really high up in the crease with a big fluffy brush. So then the next shade I'm going to grab is Creamsicle. It's a beautiful yellow shade, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of a smaller brush, but still a brush that's very long and fluffy, and we're going to put that all in the crease right on top of the Silk Cream shade that we put down first, just to warm it up and help all these colors blend together nicely. Then the next shade I'm going to use is this beautiful orange shade called Hunts. It's a little bit of a deeper orange, and I'm going to pick up an even smaller blending brush, and I'm going to just initially pack that in the outer corner of the crease, and I just slowly build that color up because it is pretty intense. So I just pat that on the outer corner, kind of on the outer lid, and then as the product is leaving my brush, I'll kind of sweep it through the crease. But just build this up gradually and slowly because it is very intense. So just do that, and we're going to start defining the crease. And just slowly build this shade up to the intensity that you like it. I kind of wanted the crease to be a little bit darker because I knew that we were going to do kind of a soft cut crease with the bright shade. So just build this up slowly, start in the outer corner, and then as the product is leaving the brush, that's when you can sweep it around. And I also wanted to keep this eyeshadow more rounded and not blown out like a wing. So then the next shade I'm going to use is Roxanne. It's a little bit of a darker, more rust orange. And I'm going to use that same brush, and I'm really going to pack this mainly on the lid and bring it on the lid up to the crease. So you want to keep this darker shade a little bit lower on your eye and blend it up to that a little bit brighter orange, just to define out the crease and deepen up the outer corner. So again, mainly place it on the outer corner. As the product's leaving my brush, that's when I sweep it across into the crease. And then again, same deal, build it up to the intensity that you like it. I knew that I wanted to cut the crease, so I wanted to make it a little bit darker because you are going to cover up some of that orange. So just keep that in mind whenever you're putting all these shades into your crease. So then I'm going to go back in with the shade Hunts, that first bright orange shade that we used, and I'm going to pick up that brush that we used the Creamsicle yellow shade on because it's a lot longer and fluffier, and I'm just going to run that right over the top of where the darker shades meet those lighter transition shades, just to help blend it out and make it all look nice and smooth and fade nicely throughout the lid. Then we're going to go in with the star of the show, Pool Party, this beautiful turquoise color, and it is a shimmer. And I do use a synthetic brush, and I spray my brush with MAC Fix Plus to make it go on more wet and metallic, and we're just going to carve out the lid. It doesn't have to be super defined, just carve out the lid because it's like a soft cut crease. And using the Fix Plus or any setting spray will really make it go on super smooth up high in that crease like that. And I'm just going to pack on the color to make it really vibrant. I'll make my way across the eye, but I keep packing on as I make my way across to make sure it's really pigmented and really bright all the way across. And I'm going to bring it all the way to the outer part of the eyelid. And I just love this shade. I have always wanted to wear this shade. I just didn't know exactly how to do it to make it look flattering. So if you guys are wanting to play with a color like this, I think that the oranges in the crease really complement this shade. Then the next thing we're gonna do is pick up that Hunts shade again, and I'm gonna pick up a really small blending brush. This is like one of my favorite little brushes, and I'm ever so slightly going to blend right where the two colors meet, the Pool Party and then all the oranges, very lightly, just to make it soft and look good. So I don't pick up a lot of this Hunts color to do this. I just pick a little tiny bit up and very lightly blend through the crease right there where they meet. Then I will again just pick up that Hunts shade and blend it with a little bit of a bigger brush just to make sure everything is nice and smooth and blended. Then I'm going to pick up the Dior Forever foundation. This is my #1 foundation. Like, I wore this on my wedding day because it's my #1. Like, that's saying a lot. If you wear this on your wedding day, that means like it's your ride or die. So I'm going to put this all over the skin. I'm going to tap it on the skin with my finger first, and then I'll use my Morphe M439 foundation brush just to blend it out. This foundation looks so beautiful on your skin. I just love it. I'm finally tan enough because I did a self tan. So I'm finally tan enough to wear this. I'm so happy because I did get it in kind of a darker shade because at the time of my wedding I was tan and not super pale. So I'm just going to put this all over the skin. I love it so much. I highly recommend it. I know it's a little pricey, but it is so worth it in my opinion. And I always try to not put too much on my forehead because I don't really need it there. But ooh girl, be careful with them brows. Careful with the brows. Then I'm going to go in with the Morphe concealer. I've really been enjoying this concealer. It's super nice. And now that I have a tan, the shade really matches me a lot better in my opinion. So I'm just going to put that underneath my eyes, down the side of my nose, and just bring it out all along the cheeks. And I'm going to blend out the under eyes first before I put it in the rest of the places on my face because it's matte and it does kind of dry quickly. And I'm going to use my Morphe sponge to blend this out. I love the opposite side of this sponge. Like, I go in with it first with the pointy side, then you'll see right there I use the flat side and it gets like perfectly up underneath your eyes and won't like screw up your eyeshadow on the outer part of your eye right there. Then I'll just put a little bit on my forehead, down my nose, and I do like to do it on my upper lip area, like around my nose, because I want that area to be brighter. You don't want it to be like dark. So I like to brighten up that area, and also on my chin. And then to blend out my nose, I like to get this little small precision brush. This is a Sigma brush, just to blend out the nose so it doesn't spread it too far. Then I will use my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. This is probably my favorite translucent setting powder. It's kind of hard to beat. So I'll just use that same sponge, tap it up underneath my eyes, all the places that we put the concealer, let it sit for a minute, and then we'll just brush it right off. Sometimes I like to let the powder sit there for longer, but sometimes I just put it on there, let it sit for a minute or two, and blend it out. Then we're going to go in with the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I do love this bronzer. It works no matter what shade I am, if I'm super fair or if I've got a tan. So that's good, and I'm just going to use the little brush that it comes with because it creates a nice contour, a nice sharp contour. So I'll put it on with that first, and then I'll just take a little bit of a bigger brush and blend it all out just so that it's nice and smooth and not too, like, you know, too harsh or crazy. So I'll just use that brush and blend it all out, and then I also use that brush to put it all over my forehead, like underneath my jaw and all that kind of stuff. You know the drill, all the places where you contour, girl. Then I'm going to go in with this blush right here. I am so sorry. I don't know the name of this or who it's by. I got it in my Ipsy glam bag like a while ago. But I wanted something that was kind of deeper, not too light or pink, something that kind of had like an orangeness to it. And it is matte, so that is a little bit different for me. And then we're going to use the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist to set our face. And then I'll just tap over my face with my sponge, as always, to make sure everything's melted together. Then we're going to use the Becca Champagne Pop Highlighter, and we're going to put that on the high parts of our cheeks. I'm not going to bring it too far around the brow or up on the forehead like sometimes I do. I'm just going to keep it right there at the bottom of the brow today. And then also on your nose, your cupid's bow, your chin. But I am going to go in and contour the nose before I put the highlight on. So I'm just using the same Hoola bronzer to contour the nose really quick. Before I can put the highlight on, we got to do the contour. Okay, so for the lower lash line, we are going to use the shade Hunts, and I'm going to use like a little smudger brush. It's got really short bristles and it's super dense, and I'm just going to pack that all on the lower lash line. We're just mainly placing the product with this brush, because then I will go in with a more fluffy brush, as you'll see in a second, and just blend that out, because I like to smoke it out. We don't want it to look harsh, we want it to look nice and diffused. So I like to blend it out with a fluffier brush, but I like to pack it on with like a stiffer, more dense brush. Then we'll go back in with Creamsicle. We're pretty much doing the same thing we did on the top. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom, and I'm just going to get a really fluffy brush, and I'm going to put this right below the orange, like almost dragging it down a little bit, because we want to kind of mimic what we did on the top, how it's like you have that hint of yellow right above the orange. Then I'm going to use the shade Jax, and it's a darker kind of reddish orange, and I'm going to take this on a stiff definer brush and press this right in my lashes, almost kind of like liner. So again, I don't blend with that brush, I just pack it on with that brush, then I go back with my little tiny blending brush and blend it out so it's nice and smooth and it's not like a harsh jagged line. Then we can dust off our nose, baking where I contoured it. So now we can put the highlight on. Gotta do these steps, you know, so we can highlight the nose, make it look super cute and buttony. And I will also just put that on my Cupid's bow and my inner corner of my eyes and a little tiny little bit on the brow. Then I'm going to go in with this amazing pencil by Morphe. It's in the shade Bar, and I'm going to put this in my waterline. It's kind of like a red brown. It really brings out the color in your eyes, like no matter what color eyes you have. Then I'm going to put on some mascara, the Maybelline Big Shot, and some lashes as well. Then I'm going to use these two pencils for my lips. As always, I'm sorry, if I want a nude lip, these are like my go-to. First I put Backseat Love down because it's very similar to my lip color. And then I will put down the Sweet Tea to kind of contour the lip, as always, right in the middle of the bottom and the top. Then I'm going to use these two Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Liquid Lipsticks. This darker one is the shade 55 Driver. So I put that down first, and I don't put a lot, just some on my bottom lip, tap it out. Then I'll put the lighter shade, which is number 5, in the shade Loyalist. And I'll put that in the center, tap that out, and this is the final look. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. That was so stupid. Like a pop of color on the lid kind of look. Why am I like scratching my ear right now in the middle of this? I thought that it turned out really good. I just cracked my knuckle. Can I talk? Can I just speak English, please? Am I just like dozing off over here? Just like a fun little pool party every time you blink.